Ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly, while others struggle no matter how hard they work? The secret isn't just talent, education, or luck, it's mindset, financial intelligence, and the way you think about money. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki shares the life-changing lessons he learned from two very different father figures, one who valued security and traditional education, and another who understood how money really works. This book isn't about getting rich quick. It's about learning to make money work for you, mastering your focus, embracing risk, and building real financial freedom. If you're ready to change the way you think about money forever, these lessons will open your eyes, challenge what you've been taught, and show you a smarter path to wealth. Lesson 1. The real reason money controls most lives. Most people grow up believing that money comes after success. But the truth is different. Money responds to discipline, smart thinking, and consistent action. When money isn't understood early, it becomes a source of stress instead of power. We spend our childhood chasing grades, yet no one teaches us how money works. Schools teach math, science, and language, but never teach the subject that shapes our entire adult life: financial understanding. Because of this, most adults keep running in circles: earn, spend, worry, repeat. Imagine if kids learned money management the same way they learned reading or writing. They would grow up confident, responsible, and financially stable. But since money is ignored in early education, people enter adulthood unprepared and overwhelmed. The author explains that money is like energy: if you guide it, it serves you. If you ignore it, it controls you. And this is why understanding money is far more important than simply earning it. You can work hard, earn well, and still struggle if you don't know how money behaves. What you must remember: your financial life is shaped more by how you think about money than how much you earn. Understanding money early prevents years of unnecessary struggle. Lesson 2. Two fathers, two mindsets. The source of wealth. Thinking. The author grew up learning from two father figures, one rich, one poor. Both were hardworking, loving, and caring, but their thinking about money was completely different. And that difference shaped the author's entire financial life. His poor dad was educated, disciplined, and believed in traditional success: go to school, study hard, get a secure job. His rich dad believed something else entirely: understand money, make it work for you, and you will never worry about it. Both loved him equally. Yet one struggled financially while the other built wealth. The key difference wasn't education, luck, or opportunity, it was mindset. The poor dad would say, "I can't afford this." The rich dad would ask, "How can I afford this?" One shut down possibilities, the other opened them. This lesson makes one thing very clear: your financial life is built by the questions you ask yourself every day. Most people adopt limiting beliefs they learn from family, school, or society. But wealth begins when you start questioning those beliefs. If you think like the poor dad, you'll spend your life earning money. If you think like the rich dad, you'll spend your life building freedom. What you must remember: mindset creates the gap between rich and poor. Your habits, questions, and beliefs around money determine your financial destiny. Lesson 3. Why the traditional path keeps you stuck. From childhood, we were told the same formula for success: go to school, study hard, get a job, earn money, live happily. But the real world doesn't work that way. Many people study hard, get a good job, and still struggle financially. Why? Because the traditional path teaches how to earn money, not how to manage it. Most people think a job will solve their money problems, yet even with a high salary they feel stuck. Expenses rise, desires grow, pressure increases, and they remain trapped in a cycle of survival. Work harder, earn money, spend money, run out, work harder again. This endless loop is called the rat race, and millions live in it without realizing why they can't escape. The biggest misunderstanding is believing that more income automatically means more freedom. It doesn't. Without financial understanding, higher income brings higher spending. More money increases fear and greed. Lifestyle upgrades become permanent expenses. People get trapped in debt and long-term payments. The author explains that the problem isn't the job, it's the lack of money education. Schools prepare people to become employees, not financially independent individuals. They teach how to work for money, not how to make money work for them. Until financial literacy becomes a part of daily life, people will keep believing that more salary is the answer while their financial stress keeps increasing. What you must remember: a job alone will never make you free. Without money education, higher income only leads to higher dependency. True freedom begins when you understand how money behaves. Lesson 4. Escaping the fear-greed trap. Most People spend their entire lives controlled by two emotions: fear and greed. Fear pushes them to work for money. Greed pushes them to spend it. This cycle keeps them stuck. When people don't understand money, they respond emotionally instead of logically. They fear losing their job, fear not paying bills, fear falling behind, so they keep working harder without questioning their direction. And when they finally earn money, greed takes over. They start wanting more comfort, more luxury, more lifestyle upgrades. Their expenses rise, and they end up stuck in deeper financial pressure, fear. Work harder, greed, spend more pressure, work even harder. This is how most people stay trapped their whole lives. Rich Dad explains that real freedom begins when you learn to think with your mind, not your emotions. Money is a tool, it's not meant to control you. But when your decisions come from fear or desire, money becomes your master. The rich don't avoid emotions. They manage them. They pause, analyze, and make decisions based on logic and opportunity, not panic or temptation. Most people miss opportunities that are right in front of them because fear blinds them. Others waste opportunities because greed rushes them. The lesson is simple. Money is dangerous when you react to it emotionally. It becomes powerful when you handle it intelligently. What you must remember: you can't build wealth with an emotional mind. Learn to manage fear and greed, and money will stop controlling your life. Lesson 5. Learn to make money work for you, not the other way around. Most people spend their entire lives reducing themselves for money. Rich Dad teaches the opposite. Don't work for money. Make money work for you. This doesn't mean quitting your job or avoiding hard work. It means shifting your mindset from earning through effort to earning through smart systems. When the author was young, he worked for Rich Dad for almost no pay. At first he felt angry and frustrated. But that frustration was the real lesson. Rich Dad wanted him to see what most adults never notice. People become trapped because they work only for a paycheck. The paycheck becomes a drug, safe, predictable and comforting, but it kills ambition. When you depend on a salary, you stop taking risks, you stop thinking. Create value, avoid opportunities, accept limits. You never question it. Rich Dad pushed him to experience life without relying on a salary so he could discover something far more powerful: opportunity. When you're not blinded by the security of a paycheck, your mind starts looking for ways to create value, solve problems, and build income streams. That's how you learn to make money work for you. True wealth comes from smart decisions, recognizing opportunities, and income systems, investing in assets that earn even when you don't work. Rich Dad says, if you only work for money, you will always fear losing it. But when money works for you, fear loses its power. What you must remember: stop chasing paychecks. Build systems, assets, and opportunities that earn even when you're not working. That's the foundation of real financial freedom. Lesson 6. The power of choosing the right teacher. One of the most important turning points in the author's life came when he realized that who you learn from determines who you become. Everyone gets advice about money: parents, teachers, relatives, friends, but not all advice leads to financial freedom. His poor dad was highly educated, deeply respected, and full of good intentions. But he didn't understand money. So the author had to choose. Should he follow the educated man who struggled financially, or the businessman who understood wealth? Rich Dad taught him something simple but life-changing. Before you learn how, choose who you're learning from. If someone has never built wealth, their advice, no matter how sincere, can keep you stuck. People often follow the crowd, copy others, or repeat what they've heard without questioning the source. Most people say be safe, don't take risks, just get a stable job, not because it's smart advice, but because they themselves are scared. Good teachers tell you what they've lived, not what they've heard. Rich Dad encouraged the author to learn directly by doing, through real experiences, mistakes, risk, and problem solving. He believed lessons learned in real life stay with you longer than anything taught in a classroom. Choosing the right teacher means choosing someone who practices what they teach, understands money from experience, equals growth, not fear, pushes you beyond comfort, not into safety. This is how financial intelligence grows, not by memorizing theories, but by learning from people who walk the path you want to walk. What you must remember: your financial future depends on who you learn from. Follow people who understand money, not those who only talk about it. Lesson 7. Master the power of focus. The biggest difference between successful and average people isn't talent or intelligence, it's focus. Many people think thinking positively or having big ideas is enough, but ideas alone don't create wealth. What matters is where you place your attention. The author noticed that most people let their mind wander, chasing distractions, news, or the latest trend. They react to life instead of directing it. Rich Dad taught him a simple truth. Your mind isn't the problem, your focus is. To succeed financially, you must decide what to focus on and ignore everything else. Focus isn't just about working harder, it's about working on the right things. People who master focus prioritize learning and actions that create results, avoid being trapped by fear, gossip, or mindless opinions, practice consistent attention on goals that matter. Focus is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. And when your focus is sharp, opportunities become clear, decisions get easier, and your path to wealth accelerates. Core lesson of this lesson: it's not your ideas or intelligence, it's your focus that determines how far you'll go. Master focus and you control your financial destiny. Lesson 8: learn to make money work for you. Most people work for money. They get a job, earn a paycheck, and trade time for income. But Rich Dad taught the author a different mindset. Money should work for you. The difference is simple but powerful. Poor Dad said, go to school, get a safe job, work hard. Rich Dad said, learn to make money work for you through assets, investments, and smart decisions. The author realized that earning a high income doesn't guarantee wealth. Many people earn a lot but spend more than they make, leaving them financially stuck. The key is building assets that generate passive income, investments, businesses, and skills that earn even when you're not actively working. Rich Dad emphasized learning about money in practical ways, understand how investments grow, recognize opportunities where others see risk as financial intelligence to create freedom, not just security. The earlier you start, the more powerful compounding becomes. The author learned to focus on acquiring assets, not liabilities, and to let his money grow for him rather than solely relying on his paycheck. What you must remember: wealth isn't about working harder, it's about learning to make money work for you. Start building assets and your financial freedom multiplies. Lesson 9: embrace risk and learn to manage it. Most people avoid risk because they fear losing money. They play it safe, stick to jobs, and follow the crowd. But Rich Dad taught the author a different approach. Risk is not something to fear, it's something to learn to manage. The author saw that his poor dad, despite being educated and cautious, often let fear guide his decisions. Rich Dad, on the other hand, taught him to face risk with knowledge and preparation. The key difference is this: fear-driven people let money control them. Financially smart people control money by understanding risk. Rich Dad's lessons were simple but powerful. Take calculated risks, not reckless ones. Learn from mistakes, because each failure teaches you more than any book. Is financial knowledge to protect yourself while seizing opportunity. The author realized that avoiding risk keeps you poor, while managing risk builds wealth. People who succeed financially are not luckier, they are prepared and willing to act where others hesitate. What you must remember: don't fear risk, learn to manage it. Smart risk-taking is the bridge between financial struggle and financial freedom. Lesson 10: work to learn, not just to earn. Most people work for money. They choose jobs based on salary, benefits, or security. But Rich Dad taught the author a crucial mindset: work to learn, not just to earn. The author noticed that many people spend years in jobs that pay well but teach nothing valuable. They trade time for money and gain little financial intelligence. Rich Dad, however, encouraged him to seek experiences that expand skills, even if the pay was lower at first. Key lessons from this approach: focus on acquiring skills that make you financially smart. Sales, investing, leadership, and problem-solving. Take jobs that challenge you and expose you to new ideas, not just ones that offer security. Learn from mistakes and hands-on experiences. Real learning sticks better than theory. Dad emphasized that financial education comes from doing, observing, and asking questions, not just from formal schooling. By working to learn, the author was building a foundation that would allow him to create wealth independently. What you must remember: don't just chase a paycheck, choose experiences that teach you skills and financial intelligence. Your learning today becomes your earning tomorrow. Lesson 11: mind your own business. Many people spend their lives working hard for someone else's business, earning a paycheck, climbing the corporate ladder, and building wealth for their employer. But Rich Dad taught the author a critical principle: mind your own business. This doesn't mean quitting your job immediately. It means focus on building and owning assets that generate income. Pay attention to your investments, skills, and venture. Ensure that your financial growth doesn't solely depend on someone else. The author realized that most people are so busy working for others that they neglect their own financial future. Rich Dad emphasized that financial freedom comes from owning things that work for you: real estate, businesses, intellectual property, and other income-producing assets. Key takeaways from Rich Dad's teaching: don't confuse income with wealth. Salary is not enough. Build assets, not liabilities. Treat your money and skills as a business you own. What you must remember: don't just work for money, work on building your own assets and financial future. Your business, even if small, is the key to independence. Lesson 12. Overcome fear through action. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles to financial success. Most people avoid opportunities because they are afraid of losing money, making mistakes, or being judged. But Rich Dad taught the author a vital truth: fear is a signal, not a stop sign. The author saw that his poor dad's caution often kept him from growing financially. While Rich Dad encouraged action despite fear, he explained that the more you act, the more you learn, and the less fear controls you. Key lessons from this mindset: fear is natural. What matters is how you respond. Mistakes are lessons, not failures. Taking small steps consistently reduces fear and builds confidence. And old and experience are the best antidotes to fear. Dad often said that the most successful people are not fearless, they act in spite of fear. By embracing fear and learning from experience, you turn it into a tool for growth rather than a barrier. What you must remember: fear is inevitable, but taking action despite fear is what leads to financial freedom and personal growth. Lesson 13. Make money work through financial education. Most people think they need to earn more money to get rich. But Rich Dad taught the author a crucial truth: financial education is more powerful than a high income. The author noticed that many highly paid people still struggle financially because they don't understand how money works. Rich Dad emphasized learning the language of money: how to read balance sheets, understand investments, and recognize opportunities. Key lessons from this approach: money is a tool. Learning to manage it makes it work for you. Understanding assets vs liabilities is essential. Instinct wisely requires knowledge, not luck. Continuous learning compounds wealth over time. Rich Dad believed that the more financially educated you are, the less fear you have and the more opportunities you see. Knowledge transforms money from something that controls you into something that serves you. What you must remember: it's not how much you earn, but how much you learn about money that determines your financial success. Lesson 14. The power of giving and serving. Rich Dad taught the author that wealth is not just about accumulating money, it's also about creating value for others. The more you serve and solve problems, the more opportunities and wealth come to you naturally. Many people focus solely on what they can get, but Rich Dad emphasized a different approach: identify problems that need solutions, offer your skills, time, resources to meet those needs, build relationships based on trust and contribution. The author learned that giving doesn't mean losing, it creates leverage. When you help others succeed, they help you in return. Wealth grows faster when your focus is on value creation rather than just self-interest. Key lessons from this mindset: wealth follows value, not just for generosity builds reputation, and opportunities in others is a multiplier for financial and personal growth. What you must remember: true financial success comes when you focus on creating value and serving others, not just on earning money for yourself. Lesson 15. Take responsibility for your financial life. Many people blame circumstances, the economy, or other people for their financial struggles. But Rich Dad taught the author a fundamental truth: you are responsible for your financial future. The author realized that waiting for luck, promotions, or someone else's advice won't create wealth. True financial freedom comes from taking control of your decisions, actions, and learning. Key lessons from this mindset: stop blaming others. Focus on what you can control. Educate yourself continuously about money. Make deliberate choices with your time, resources, and investments. Accept mistakes as lessons, not excuses. Rich Dad emphasized that freedom starts with ownership of your financial life. The more responsibility you take, the more power and options you have to create wealth. What you must remember: financial success begins when you take full responsibility for your money and choices, instead of leaving it to chance or others. Lesson 16. The importance of action over words. Many people talk about their goals, dreams, and plans, but few actually take the steps to achieve them. Rich Dad taught the author a simple truth: knowledge alone isn't enough, action is what creates results. The author saw that people often get stuck in learning mode, reading books, attending seminars, or taking courses, yet never apply what they learn. Rich Dad emphasized that real learning comes from doing, from testing ideas, taking calculated risks, and learning from mistakes. Key lessons from this approach: knowledge without action is wasted potential. Start small, act consistently, and adjust along the way. Mistakes are valuable feedback, not failure, as action builds confidence, experience, and momentum. Rich Dad believed that the fastest way to learn about money is to engage with it directly, rather than just thinking or talking about it. What you must remember: don't just plan or dream, take decisive action. Your financial intelligence grows fastest when you apply what you learn. Lesson 17. Don't let schooling limit your thinking. Most people believe that academic education alone guarantees success. But Rich Dad taught the author an important truth: formal education doesn't automatically make you financially smart. The author realized that his poor dad, though highly educated, often lacked practical knowledge about money, investments, and business. Rich Dad emphasized that school teaches how to work for money, not how to make money work for you. Key lessons from this mindset: academic success is valuable, but financial intelligence is different. Learn skills that schools don't teach: investing, understanding assets, managing risk. Think creatively about money instead of just following rules. Challenge conventional ideas about security and wealth. Rich Dad encouraged thinking beyond grades and diplomas. Financial freedom comes from learning, observing, and acting outside the classroom. What you must remember: don't let formal schooling define your financial thinking. Expand your education to include real-world money skills. Lesson 18. Learn to see opportunities everywhere. Most people walk through life blind to financial opportunities. They see problems, risks, and obstacles, but not the possibilities. Rich Dad taught the author a powerful mindset: wealth comes to those who can spot opportunities that others overlook. The author observed that successful people don't just wait for luck, they train their minds to notice potential in every situation. Whether it's a new business idea, an investment, or a skill to master, opportunities are everywhere if you know how to look. Key lessons from this approach: look beyond fear and scarcity. Focus on potential. Ask, how can this problem become an opportunity? Develop financial intelligence to recognize value where others see none. Take action quickly when opportunities present themselves. Rich Dad emphasized that money often flows to those who see what others miss and act decisively. What you must remember: train your mind to see and seize opportunities. The more alert you are, the more chances you have to create wealth. Lesson 19. Surround yourself with the right people. The people you spend time with shape your mindset, habits, and financial destiny. Rich Dad taught the author a crucial principle: your network determines your net worth. The author noticed that most people are influenced by friends, colleagues, or family who reinforce fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs. Rich Dad emphasized choosing mentors, peers, and partners who think like you want to think and act like you want to act. Key lessons from this mindset: associate with people who inspire, challenge, and educate you. Avoid negative influences that drain motivation or encourage mediocrity. And from those who have achieved what you aspire to. Collaboration with smart, experienced individuals accelerates growth. Rich Dad believed that success is rarely a solo journey. The right relationships provide guidance, opportunities, and accountability that money alone can't buy. What you must remember: your financial growth depends on the company you keep. Choose mentors and peers who elevate your thinking and actions. Lesson 20. Turn challenges into learning opportunities. Life is full of setbacks, mistakes, and unexpected obstacles. Most people see these as problems to avoid, but Rich Dad taught the author a powerful mindset: every challenge is a chance to learn and grow. The author realized that failures and difficulties are not signs of defeat, they are lessons in disguise. Rich Dad emphasized that financial intelligence and personal growth come from facing challenges, not avoiding them. Key lessons from this approach: treat mistakes as valuable feedback, not failure. Analyze what went wrong and how to improve. Build resilience and problem-solving skills through real experience. Each challenge you overcome strengthens your ability to seize future opportunities. Rich Dad believed that those who embrace challenges and learn from them are the ones who ultimately achieve financial freedom. What you must remember: don't fear challenges, use them as stepping stones to grow your financial intelligence and create lasting wealth. Lesson 21. Make decisions based on knowledge, not emotion. Many people make financial choices driven by fear, greed, or peer pressure. Rich Dad taught the author an essential principle: successful wealth building comes from making informed decisions, not emotional ones. The author observed that reacting impulsively often leads to poor financial outcomes: buying high, selling low, or avoiding opportunities due to fear. Rich Dad emphasized that financial education allows you to separate emotion from logic, giving you the confidence to act wisely. Key lessons from this mindset: gather knowledge before making investment or business decisions, recognize emotional triggers that cloud judgment, take calculated actions rather than impulsive reactions. Consciousness learning strengthens your decision-making ability. Rich Dad believed that the more financially educated you are, the less fear and emotion control your choices. Smart decisions build wealth. Emotional ones often destroy it. What you must remember: let knowledge guide your financial decisions. Don't let fear or excitement dictate your actions. Lesson 22. Invest in yourself. First, most people focus on earning money and buying things. But Rich Dad taught the author a crucial truth: the most important investment is in yourself. The author realized that skills, knowledge, and mindset are the foundation for long-term wealth. Without investing in personal growth, no amount of money can create lasting financial freedom. Rich Dad encouraged him to continuously learn about money, business, and investing, develop skills that increase earning potential and financial intelligence and mental and emotional resilience for challenges ahead. Treat personal growth as the most valuable asset. Key is that investing in yourself pays the highest dividends more than any stock, real estate, or business. Knowledge, experience, and skill compound over time, creating wealth that can't be taken away. What you must remember: before building money, build yourself. Your personal growth is the foundation of lasting financial freedom. Lesson 23. The habit of continuous learning. Rich Dad taught the author that learning never stops, especially when it comes to financial intelligence. Many people stop learning after school or college, believing they already know enough. But in the real world, opportunities and challenges constantly evolve, and so must your knowledge. The author realized that staying curious and open to new ideas is what separates financially successful people from those who remain stuck. Rich Dad encouraged habits like reading books and attending seminars, regular learning from mentors, peers, and real-life experience, shaping to changes in markets, technology, and business. Consciously improving skills and understanding of money by committing to lifelong learning, you stay ahead of the curve and can recognize opportunities that others miss. What you must remember: never stop learning. Continuous education is the key to staying financially smart and creating lasting wealth. Lesson 24. Turn knowledge into action. Quickly, many people spend years learning but never apply what they know. Rich Dad taught the author a simple truth: knowledge alone is useless without action. The author realized that hesitation and overthinking can kill opportunities. Rich Dad emphasized that the faster you apply what you learn, the faster you grow financially. Small mistakes along the way are valuable lessons that accelerate learning. Key lessons from this approach: don't wait for perfection, start applying knowledge. No, learn by doing. Experience is the best teacher. Analyze results, adjust, and keep moving forward. Action compounds knowledge into real-world results. Rich Dad believed that speed of execution often matters more than knowledge itself. Those who act promptly learn faster, earn faster, and gain an edge over those who procrastinate. What you must remember: turn what you learn into action. Your results grow only when knowledge meets execution. Lesson 25. Control your financial future through discipline. Rich Dad taught the author that discipline is the bridge between knowledge and financial success. Many people know what to do, they understand saving, investing, and building assets, but they fail to act consistently. The author realized that without discipline, even the best financial strategies fail. Rich Dad emphasized habits like regularly saving and investing, no matter how small, avoiding impulsive spending and lifestyle inflation, sticking to long-term plans despite short-term temptations, consciously monitoring and managing assets. Financial freedom is not achieved overnight. It is the result of consistent, disciplined actions over time. Discipline turns smart decisions into lasting wealth. What you must remember: knowledge alone isn't enough. Discipline transforms knowledge into financial freedom.